it's just a very delightful movie. It's really fun. I wouldn't bring the kids, but in a funny way you could. It's just the way.
What kids?
Get it, Sue.
Okay, we're back. So we're back, and I think it's you, George.
Last movie, right? Living?
No, this is
Trip.
a Trip. Your
It's
movie.
you, my friend.
movie. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
My movie. That's right.
Get it, George.
So watch this retake. Yeah, so my movie is called The Trip, and let's watch a trailer.
Yes.
Hva med Lisa? Lisa? Du skulle dra på hytta I helga. Kom oss bort dit. Slapp av.
Alltså jag är så jävla trött på att tjafsa med dig.
Hun har bestemt seg for å dra på en sånn fjelltur alene. Det jo livsfarlig.
Skulle du stycka mig? Vad har du för idiotiskt motiv till att vilja mörda mig?
Det starter med at du en løgnaktig jævla utro hore. Klart vi skal ikke blande oss for mye inn I deres saker, vi, men det må virke som dere har et lite samlivsproblem.
Han hamnar här. Jag var så kär I dig.
Hold kjeft! 2 millioner hvis du blåser huet henne her og nå. Ikke ditt feil. Bare min. Det intenst.
So as you can see from the trailer, it's basically a couple that go on a vacation on a cabin to reconnect, but instead they really have intentions to kill each other and collect the insurance money. And of course, in that process, there's 3 escaped convicts who are hiding in the cabin that they're staying, and they encounter them, and then the shenanigans ensue. The movie, is very violent. I mean, it's really violent. It reminded me of Riders of Justice. I think you mentioned that too.
Yeah.
Yes.
movie?
Riders of Justice.
Really?
Because the movie started extremely violent, but it's also I found extremely funny as well.
Yes.
So where you're like,
I agree.
it's an interesting combination because kind of like watching a Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez movie.
Yeah.
Well, maybe more Quentin Tarantino. He's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Coen brothers.
Rodriguez is funny.
Coen Brothers.
Coen
Brothers.
Brothers, another one, yeah.
So I saw the movie, and then at first, when I first saw it, I thought it was like, wow, that's kind of weird movie. It's kind of violent, but as I kept going back at it, the scenes, because I had a couple of scenes that I was laughing out loud, and then just from memory, it kept getting funnier and funnier. So I watched it again, and so yeah, this is actually quite a funny movie to me, even though it's so violent that the funny parts are just I don't know, it's well done. So that's it. I enjoyed it. That's about it.
Okay.
Well, I was very hesitant to watch this one because, oh God, none of these violent movies. But I gotta say, I laughed my ass off through the whole movie. It is like Quentin Tarantino by way of the Coen Brothers. It's just it's so bizarre. This is what I want to see Noomi Rapace do: kick ass. and Aksel Hennie, who plays her husband in it, who's also in another film that's very similar called Sisu, that's out on Netflix right now.
Right.
He's terrific. I mean, everybody in this movie is really terrific. The guy who plays a guy with a very strange nickname.
Oh, that's Christian Rubek.
Yeah, and I'm trying to. He reminded somebody. Some American actor he reminded me of too. But he's hysterical. The guy, the main. I don't know what they are. Are they convicts or what? But the main thug is
Bad guy?
sort of
Petter.
He's sort of like a Nick Offerman type, but on steroids.
Actually, that does look like Nick Offerman.
Yeah. Oh, the actors are perfect for these parts, and even the father who comes in later on. I mean, everybody.
He's one of my favorites.
Everybody
Me
is
too.
perfect in this, and everybody has something horrible happen to them in this. Whether they die or not, they have horrible, horrible stuff happen to them all the way through, and it's so relentless that it just you either give yourself over to it or you say, "Oh no, I don't want to watch another." This is not a boring movie. This is a very lively movie. Like I say, it's very imaginative. Shooting into the ceiling, it becomes a whole comic thing in and of itself. It's if what you saw in the trailer appeals to you, don't miss this movie. That's all there is to it.
Okay. Those Scandinavians.
Yeah. Wacky.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting that George and I both picked choices with Noomi Rapace. Rapace. How do you say that?
Noomi Rapace.
Rapace.
The lady
Rapace.
from Prometheus.
I'm sorry.
The lady,
Sorry, gotta say.
the girl with the dragon
The
tattoo.
girl with the dragon tattoo.
Anyways, I did Lamb earlier, and her role couldn't be more different, which to me shows her
Range.
Her range as an actress is amazing. She's great. It reminded me also of a Quentin Tarantino movie because he has a way to be very violent, but also light and funny too. So, I don't know kind of how you do that. And like you, George, Riders of Justice, that's why it also reminded me of that. I like the way Scandinavians can be so so violent, but very funny at the same time. I'm reluctant to say I'm reluctant to say too much as the movie has a lot of blind sides. It has, which is a good thing, and it has a lot of twists and turns, and you really want to be like, oh, okay, right? That Noomi Rapace as Lisa is really the center of this film, I thought.
Yeah.
Everything and the husband. I think that everything kind of and Lars. That's Lars. Everything revolves around them. And it's just a very delightful movie. It's really fun. I wouldn't bring the kids, but in a funny way you could. It's just the way.
What kids?
If you're watching watching the movies with kids, I don't know that would be good, but it might be.
It's a delightfully violent movie.
It's a delightfully funny movie and violent. Yes.
Oh God, I hate being the bummer of this whole session, but.
Go
I
for
found
it.
this. Well, I'm going to.
I'm sure you will.
I found this movie so boring, and I love Naomi. I'm not going to say her last name.
Noomi.
Whatever her name is. But anyway, the girl from the dragon tattoo. Okay. I'll tell you one of the main things that turned me off this movie is I've seen a million break-in,
home invasion,
home invasions, and they are done so much better. I didn't find it funny. I found it real boring. Like, hurry up, somebody kill somebody and somebody win.
Well, apparently they were like the Terminator. Nobody could get killed.
Right. It's so true. Anyway, one of the things was I had it in English, and the voice they used for Naomi, and I'm not saying her like whoever, the girl from the dragon tattoo.
The dubbing sucked.
Yeah. The voice wasn't right.
Did we watch it in?
I tried watching it on that, and it was terrible. I
shouldn't have watched it. I should have watched it with her.
We saw it in the original. I saw it in English, and then we saw it in the original.
Yeah,
the voice was totally wrong, emotionless.
Him too.
I am available for voiceovers if needed. And the husband, was just not the right guy. He just wasn't. She would never go for a guy like that. I'm sorry, she wouldn't.
Well, he's a director and she's an actress.
Well, what do you say, Sisu?
But you're right. She is an actress and he is a director. I have seen many more bizarre combos before. But I didn't find it funny. I found it boring. And I really love her. So it kills me when
you don't like the movie.
When I don't like the movie.
In fact, they bring the actor part of it too, because even though the whole middle of everything, he's like, when they're getting killed, what it's like, wow, the way you played that was great. And she smiles like, like any actor.
Right.
Thanks.
The guy was wrong. I don't know why, but she would not be with a guy like that. It's
language.
A girl thing.
You didn't believe it.
I didn't believe it at all. And he just, if I had the energy, and I don't, to watch it again, I would watch it in the original language
Probably.
with subtitles, because her voice irritated the crap out of me.
Some movies you have to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I'll, like the Phenomena one we watched with your movie. The English one was
some
pretty
of them
good.
did a great job.
They did
Some
a
of them
great.
kill it.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I decided to try watching this with the because I hate dubbing, and I hated this dubbing. I hated the dubbing on this. Their voices were just like.
Usually I don't mind. I don't notice the difference, but I gotta say, with this one, I kept noticing it. It was like very automatic. It was like
They weren't good.
no.
Well,
they weren't.
the fact is, if you're watching it dubbed, you're not hearing the actor, and you're missing out on that
Yeah,
and what
absolutely.
that actor
The
brings
feel.
to the table.
But also too is like I've seen a million home invasion movies, and
Well,
this
that could
did
be a
not
reason.
surpass anything, and that's why I don't watch
So
home
does it have
invasion
to-
movies, because I don't like them because they're predictable. Somebody always gets away.
The end.
The end. Lon?
Okay, well, I feel more or less how you did too, because to me it's like, oh, here's
Shocked.
another movie that's sort of predictable. It's like,
Right.
okay, but again, on an existential level, okay, Patty?
God, I hate that word.
Think of all things.
I got it.
I always just thought, okay, but it's the couple. That's what I'm paying attention to, because even at the beginning, you saw in the trailer, you sort of know what's going on in the plot.
Right.
The way he keeps saying, oh, yeah, she wants to go and do hiking and it's
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah, he keeps repeating things.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I can see where this is going. I didn't realize she had the same thing, because, see, that's what I thought was fascinating about it. Like you said, no, you're right. You don't see those two together. They should not have been together.
They
That's
didn't
why.
even look right together.
But that's why at the beginning it's like, oh, how funny, because they both sort of have the same intention once
Right.
they get to the cabin in a way, right? So it's like, okay, I'll go with it. I have to admit though, as predictable as this, I could not predict the humor involved in this movie.
I didn't see any humor.
For me, it had to do
You've
with
seen too many of these movies.
Okay, to me, and that's why I would say I will point out that Niels Ole Oftebro, because that was the guy who played the father.
Yeah.
I
He
thought
was
that
great.
was a
He
great
was great.
character
Yeah.
from beginning to end.
Absolutely.
Everything he was in, I was always I knew what he was talking about. I knew what he was saying to his son.
Right.
Even he could see in his son, you don't even know what life's about.
Right.
You have no clue.
Right.
You
Your
can't be a
generation.
man.
The father was
He was in
great.
the war.
Exactly.
The father was really believable.
Well, that's the thing. That's how I sort of see Scandinavian people
Yeah, me
of a
too.
certain ilk. Because it's like, no, you're in the outdoors. You do this.
In fact,
You
there's
just do everything.
Also,
right?
there's a scene in the movie
So-
that probably describes where you talk about the humor
Mhm.
and the violence. Where I don't, it's probably not a spoiler, but I'll cut it if it is. Where the son is there and the father's laying on the hammock and they're looking out into the river, into the lake, pondering, and he goes, the son tells the father, I just shot a man in the balls.
Yes,
And so,
exactly.
son, I'm
I'm
proud of you.
Yeah.
That pretty much describes.
Exactly. No.
You know, it's
No.
interesting because I when I read the description of the movie on Netflix, I think that this one is Netflix.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
It said like a couple goes to a cabin to kill each other,
Right.
and I thought, oh, so it's a couple who have sort of said like our life isn't worth living anymore. Let's go off and have a nice
Oh, you
vacation.
thought
like
We'll kill each other.
suicide.
And we'll kill each
Okay,
other.
suicide,
Yeah.
okay.
A pack.
And then
Double
when he starts
suicide,
coming down
right?
the hall with the
Yeah.
hammer, I said, oh, maybe I misunderstood.
Because that's the one thing about it. You're right. There are sort of twists and turns because of
Yeah.
it. They can be a little bit much, and but to me, I think it's used more to comical effect than
Yes.
actual.
I thought they were
things.
gleefully murderous.
Yeah. Everybody in the movie, basically.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. There's a sequence with the father too, where he bites
yeah.
somebody's nose off. I thought,
Yeah.
and he's
How you like
it's
that, buddy?
exactly. I mean, it just I
I
was
gotta
just
watch.
again. I didn't like seeing all the violence, but I thought, this is really working for me.
You
Because
sick
ultimately,
fuck.
exactly. Ultimately, what's happening is like, here's you see this couple, and it's about the relationship and the therapy in a weird way, as The Lamb was. I just want to see what's going to happen with this couple, because even till the end, they have a great sequence where it's
that
like,
is so funny.
ooh, what's going to happen here? You know, and that's what I mean. You don't really know.
Yeah, you're right. The
You have
experience.
no idea what's going to happen.
You know what's going to
That's
happen.
so funny. You should mention that movie because it's also new.
No. It's like,
That's
well,
it.
that's the thing,
With a
because
couple.
the director was this Tommy. I don't
Tommy
know.
Wi- Tommy Wirkola. Yeah.
Right? But I don't know if it's Wirkola. But
Well,
what is
who cares?
interesting is
He does like
he did What Happened
Snow.
to Monday.
Oh,
He also did What Happened to Monday.
But he also did the
which
Red
is,
Snow movie.
which is a movie, if you see it, if you like Noomi Rapace, where she plays seven
Seven
characters.
Sisters.
every other Monday.
Yeah.
no,
that's
what
a good
happened to
movie.
Monday? It's called What Happened to
What
Monday,
Happened
where
to
she's
Monday.
like
Monday,
7
that's
different
right.
Noomi
So I
Rapaces.
sort of knew what to expect of his sort of sensibility, because you could see that, right? So, because he does surprise you, right, with certain things. So obviously, I think they obviously have a good relationship working together, and it does show in this movie, because actually, I was sort of like I said, bored. It's like, okay, it's going to be this. It's going to be this. And then,
Right.
yes, it's getting predictable with the violence and the violence and violence. But I have to admit, though, within the last half hour, it's like, okay, I'm there now, because, again, I think the father character, the way they handled the very, very ending, and oddly enough, the weirdness of that kind of, I think, for me personally, when I saw movies, Texas Chainsaw Massacre sort of set the standard of someone trying to get away from being killed
Right.
at the end of a movie.
I couldn't watch that movie.
No, I understand
can
that.
watch
Believe
it?
me. No, I can
could not
understand
watch
it.
it.
Yeah.
Why not?
I never wanted to
Yeah.
watch it.
I can understand that.
Because I'm
but,
not a sociopath, Patty.
But that movie was the most
Are you?
suspenseful kind of
Yes, it
situation
was.
as far as, is she going to get away? So I have to admit, at the end of this movie, I had the same feeling. It's like, are they going to live? Are they going to die? I had
You
no
know
idea.
they're going to live.
No,
they're
that's what I'm
always
saying.
gonna
No,
live.
you know
That-
they're going to live
that I
because
did
you
know.
see so many of these movies.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know that.
but
They're
you're right.
always going to live. I'm
You're
going
right.
to tell you right now.
So you're right in terms of this movie was their whole experience was couples therapy.
No,
Yeah.
that's exact. That's why literally I'm watching this.
That'd be a good title for the movie.
Yeah,
Well,
That
see,
was
the
good.
funny
That would've been
thing
a great
was
title
is that
for
because then I really flashed to my Christmas movie. I said, "Oh, I have to do the ref for my Christmas movie
Oh, yeah.
because
That's a great
it's
movie.
it's that kind of it's almost the same type of movie, except basically it's all comedy, not gore and violence." But I was watching this like, yeah, that's what I liked about it, because it had to do with the two leads. So I had to give it to Noomi Rapace and Aksel Hennie that they're the reason I liked the movie, and I give it to the director because I
Right,
did
right.
like the ending. That's the thing, is that I was sort of delighted with how it ended in a way, in a
Yes.
strange, and I do mean in a strange way, because for me, it's like you said, yeah, spoiler, sorry, but it's like, oh, the father has the best scene.
Yes, but when
Right?
they bring
So-
a character in
Or
for
the-
more than 20
this is not a
seconds,
spoiler. Yes.
that character is important.
Or
You
this-
got to know this.
I like the guy saying, you're out of luck. You ever hear of Dave Horse-Dick Erickson?
No.
No.
No idea.
Oh, like the which is not a spoiler.
that's
that's
in the
exactly
movie.
how it happened.
Oh,
Yeah, that's in the movie, yeah. But yeah,
And
see,
which
that's
you
what I
see
said, I
coming, because when
understand.
they're looking at him down through the ceiling, he says, "Oh, I'm looking at different balls than you are,"
Ah.
and so you know where it was coming. He says, "His name
Well,
is
there were
Dave
kind-
Horse-Dick
Right.
Erickson." I said,
Okay, George, I'm dying to hear your version of this.
No,
No,
it was his movie.
that was
Oh.
It was his
Bob?
movie.
No,
Good night.
Susan.
No,
I think we went
He
through it.
doesn't. He doesn't.
I think we went
it
through it.
would-
"No, I don't
scored
give
it?
it. I mean, I already reviewed it, but
I give it an 8.
6.
I give it a 6.
I
God, I'm
give
turning into you.
I'll give it a 9. I give it that much.
Okay.
and he's turning into you.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll be back. Okay. I think we are
That's
done
it.
here.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of What the Flicks podcast. If you enjoy the show, remember you can help our podcast by subscribing and liking us.
Please.
Okay, and now I have very exciting news. I don't know if it's exciting for you. You can support this podcast by also buying us a coffee. Such a thing. You can go buy us a coffee, right?
I love coffee.
Or you can join our Patreon. Of course, that's very unestablished yet, but
Work
we're
in
working
progress.
on we're
Okay.
working on that page, and we'll have it together soon. But thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you will send us a comment and send your suggestions. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suggestions.
I enjoyed it.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And that's all that counts.